to order. Madam Secretary, are there any changes to final agenda?
There are no changes to the final agenda.
Thank you. Before moving to the agenda, I will conduct a roll call of commissioners. When I call your name, please confirm that you are present. Commissioner James Alisi.
Present.
Commissioner Dave Valesky.
Present.
Commissioner John Majori.
Present.
Commissioner Chenna Bright.
Present.
Commissioner Denise Sheehan.
Present.
Commissioner Radina Volova.
Present.
Thank you. Before we turn to the regular agenda, do any commissioners wish to recuse from voting on item 201? Commissioner Alisi.
No. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Alisi. Oh, I did this again. I did that last time. Commissioner Valesky.
No.
Thank you.
There's a discussion only.
Just 201. Commissioner Majori.
No.
Commissioner Bright.
No.
Commissioner Sheehan.
No.
Commissioner Volova.
No.
Thank you. Now we will go to the regular agenda. Our first item for discussion, our one voting item on the regular agenda today is item 201, case 26-M-0425, as it relates to the review of utility estimated billing. It'll be presented today by Chelsea Lequitera, Karen Palmieri, Anna Senatori, Russell King, Austin Scarborough are all available for questions. Chelsea, please begin.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Chair and Commissioners. My name is Chelsea Laquatara, and I'm from the Office of Consumer Services. Every month, millions of New Yorkers receive and pay bills for energy and water services. While it is imperative that their bills are based on accurate measurements of customers' electric, natural gas, steam, or water usage, the Commission has recognized that utilities must at times render a bill based on estimated usage. Estimated bills are typically calculated using customers' historical energy or water usage and are not based on actual usage during the specific billing period. On December 5th, 2025, Governor Hochul vetoed a piece of legislation, New York State Senate Bill S-2182A, which would have prohibited utility corporations and municipal utilities from issuing consecutive estimated bills. Governor Hochul's veto message, number 83, recognized the need for the limited use of estimated bills and directed the New York State Department of Public Service to examine the estimated billing practices of utility corporations and municipal utilities. Governor Hochul required the proceeding to include an examination of utility procedures for calculating estimated bills and whether improvements are warranted, whether the distribution of smart meters in the service territories reduces the need for estimated billing, an examination of how utility corporations and municipal utilities address barriers to obtaining an actual meter reading, the incidence of estimated bills issued in a particular service territory, and whether additional limitations, consequences, refunds, or penalties against utilities are needed to enforce requirements regarding estimated billing. Item 201 would initiate a proceeding to assess these estimated billing practices and procedures for over 65 utility corporations, large and small, and municipal utilities across the state, as directed in the Governor's veto message. This proceeding also presents an opportunity for staff to examine the utility's actual practices when issuing estimated bills and the reporting of such information. On a monthly basis, the Department's Office of Consumer Services staff collects data from the major investor-owned electric and gas utility corporations to monitor their customer service performance as required by the Commission in its order adopting revisions to customer service reporting metrics issued in Case 15M-0566. For estimated bills, those monthly reports include the number of scheduled meter readings, the number of estimated bills, and the percentage of estimated bills, which is calculated by dividing the number of estimated bills by the number of scheduled reads. The following utilities submit such data: Central Hudson Gas and Electric Corporation, Consolidated Edison Company of New York, Keyspan Gas East Corporation, doing business as National Grid or KEDLI, National Fuel Gas Distribution Company, New York State Electric and Gas Corporation, or NYSEG, Niagara Mohawk Power Corporation doing business as National Grid, Orange and Rockland Utilities Incorporated, Rochester Gas and Electric Corporation, or RG&E, the Brooklyn Union Gas Company doing business as National Grid New York, or KEDNY. At a high level, from 2020 through 2025, National Fuel and the National Grid companies have had the highest levels of estimated bills. National Fuel has maintained the highest percentage of estimated bills among the reporting utilities, although its overall reliance on estimated bills has decreased from over 18% of its bills in 2020 to 10% in 2025. Niagara, KEDLI, and KEDNY have shown a steady increase in their percentage of estimated bills since 2020, with KEDNY showing the highest percentage increase from about 4% in 2020 to 9% in 2025. Orange and Rockland's estimated bills have remained low, but fluctuated after a decrease between 2020 and 2021. Central Hudson, Con Edison, NYSEG, and RG&E, on the other hand, have all shown improvement in their levels of estimated bills over this time frame, with NYSEG and RG&E showing the most significant improvement since 2022. As for the other investor-owned utilities and municipal utilities, there is no standard data collection on estimated bills required at this time. The draft order before you will institute a proceeding that will provide an overview of the existing procedures for estimated billing among the utility corporations and municipal utilities, the variation among such procedures, analysis of the number of estimated bills issued to customers each month, and an assessment of the utility's adequacy regarding estimated bills. The draft order directs all of the utilities to provide their respective current methodologies for calculating estimated bills, together with evidence of commission approval, and further directs the large investor-owned utilities to provide their current procedures for obtaining an actual meter reading and any other estimated billing procedures, the number of estimated bills issued over the past 10 years, and the number of smart meters and/or automated meter reading meters installed throughout the service territory in the previous 10 years. The draft order also directs DPS staff to develop a staff report for public comment and commission consideration that will assess the impact of estimated bills have on utility customers across the state and include any recommendations to improve utility policies and practices regarding estimated billing where possible. Staff anticipates returning to the commission with its staff report early next year. That concludes my presentation. Staff is now available for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea, for the presentation. I appreciate the legislative origin of the order and the further guidance provided by Governor Hochul through her directive to the department last year. And as you described, this order marks the beginning of what will be a robust data gathering process that will give the department and the commission a greater understanding of the breadth and depth of utility practices with estimating billing. And I believe with this information, what we'll learn through the subsequent public comment periods, the Commission will ultimately be able to direct a more specific course of action. So I look forward to this process beginning and that eventual outcome. And I'm particularly interested in seeing how AMI will further enhance the ability to get actual meter readings, critically important for establishing and maintaining trust among the community that their bills are in fact accurate. So I want to thank you again for this, and I want to highlight that this is yet another example of our continued commitment to continuous improvement in making our regulation for the state's utilities more robust and better for consumers. So thank you for your work on this so far, and looking forward to more ahead. Commissioner Elise.
Thank you very much. We're moving forward with this. Good job.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Valesky.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for your presentation, Chelsea and Karen, Russell, and Austin. Thank you for your work on this order. I'm certainly intending on supporting it. It's always important that utility customers pay only for the energy that they actually use. Probably never more important than in a time of high utility bills. So this order may in fact be overdue for us to take a look at this and come up with what I anticipate will be some real solid recommendations in 6 months or so from now. The only thing I would just add is a reminder. to the department and to staff that when you identify a potential, as you do all the time, identify a potential challenge or issue as it relates to utility practices, you are bringing orders before the commission all the time. Many of those orders do not find their origin in legislation or in a veto message from legislation. So just a reminder going forward that when there are issues that come to your attention that cause concern, you should not hesitate to consider initiating orders, and that such activity certainly does not have to originate from the legislature itself. Thank you very much. I'll be supporting the order.
Thank you. Commissioner Majori.
Thank you for the presentation, and thank you for the work you did on the order. I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Bright.
Great job, Chelsea. I have no questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Sheehan.
Great job, Chelsea, and to the team, Karen, Russell, Austin. Appreciate it. Can you just review the timeline for this, just so we have that fresh?
Sure. The draft order directs the utilities to provide the additional information within 30 days of the issuance of the order, and then the staff report will be due within 180 days from that date.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to just solidify. So obviously I'm supportive, and I really appreciate the work by staff. The accuracy and timeliness of our bills are incredibly important to protecting ratepayers, so I'm very supportive. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Vlova.
Thank you. I echo the comments my colleagues have made. Thank you, staff. I look forward to seeing the results from this proceeding and learning how we can improve upon the use of estimated billing. I will be supporting.
All right. Thank you. With that, I'll conduct a call for vote. My vote is in favor of the recommendations contained in the draft order as described. Commissioner Alisi, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Valesky.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Majori.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Bright.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Sheehan.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Vlova.
Yes.
Thank you. The item is approved and the recommendations are adopted. Thank you, everyone. We'll now move to our second item for discussion today. This is a non-voting item, an informational item only. Item number 202, case 26-M-0035, which is the 2025 Utility Customer Service Performance Report. It'll be presented by Kayla Whitaker and Ashley Akey. And Ashley, I think this is your first session. Thank you. Karen Palmieri and Anna Senatori are available for questions. Kayla, please begin.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Chair and Commissioners. Item 202 is a staff report that summarizes the New York State electric, natural gas, and water utilities' customer service performance for calendar year 2025. While safety and reliability are paramount, the quality of customer service remains vital for utility customers. Customer Service Performance Indicator targets and associated negative revenue adjustments, or NRAs, for certain metrics are negotiated in utility rate cases. These metrics help align shareholder and customers' interests by providing potential earnings consequences to shareholders that reflect the quality of service provided to customers. Staff conducted a thorough audit into the utilities' reported calendar year 2025 customer service performance, processes, and procedures, which included interrogatory responses, utility technical meetings, and the verification of data submitted. As a result, staff identified and provided 14 recommendations in the report on several areas for improvement and where further standardization could be implemented. Next slide, please. Staff also confirmed that Central Hudson, Liberty SLG, Kedley, Kedney, Niagara Mohawk, NYSEG, and RG&E failed to meet at least one of the targets for their respective metrics in calendar year 2025. The remaining utilities met or exceeded the performance standards established within their individual rate plans for all of their metrics. Next, I will explain the customer service performance metrics, review charts of utility performance for the common customer service metrics, then summarize all of the utilities that incurred NRAs in calendar year 2025. The utilities are required by the Commission to file monthly, quarterly, and annual customer service reports, allowing staff to track customer service performance and identify trends that are to be addressed in rate case proceedings. The reports contain customer service measures such as call answer rate, which is the percentage of calls answered by a utility representative within 30 seconds, survey-based measures of customer satisfaction, PSC complaint rate, the rate of appointments kept, adjusted bills, which are based on the number of adjusted bills created due to utility error, and estimated bills, which measures the number of bills issued from estimated meter readings. Next slide, please. This slide summarizes all of the utilities that incurred NRAs in calendar year 2025. Total NRAs incurred in calendar year 2025 equal approximately $50.1 million. Central Hudson failed its customer satisfaction survey, call answer rate, and PSC complaint rate, which resulted in a combined NRA of 34 basis points or approximately $4.7 million. Central Hudson attributed its failures to the ongoing issues related to meter readings and customer billing, as well as increases to collections activity, but has stated that it is increasing its staffing to address these customer call types. One area Central Hudson has made improvements in regards to its customer satisfaction survey is in the translation, dissemination, and scoring of surveys sent to Spanish-speaking customers, which Central Hudson personnel spoke about during a meeting with staff to discuss their annual survey results. Liberty SLG, unfortunately, just missed its customer satisfaction survey target by 0.1% and will be assessed the minimum NRA of 5 basis points or approximately $38,744. Liberty SLG has stated it attributes this failure to customers' displeasure with high bill costs and billing issues, such as billing accuracy. All New York National Grid companies, KEDLI, KEDNY, and Niagara Mohawk, failed to meet their respective call answer rate metrics. This results in an NRA for KEDLI of 5 basis points or $1.72 million, one for KEDNY totaling 10 basis points or $5.31 million, and another for Niagara Mohawk of 12 basis points. All three National Grid utilities transitioned away from using their third-party call vendors at various periods in 2025, and some of these vendors were unable to or did not provide the companies with their call answer data, which limited the information that could be used to verify these grid companies' call answer rate performances. This transition also likely affected the company's call answer rate performances in 2025. However, they should stabilize and improve in calendar year 2026. Additionally, Niagara Mohawk was unable to achieve the minimum target level for its small and medium commercial and industrial customer satisfaction survey, thus incurring an additional 12 basis points metric NRA. In total, Niagara Mohawk will be assessed 36 basis points in NRAs for its performances during calendar year 2025, totaling approximately $16.97 million. Niagara Mohawk attributed its failures to the voluminous survey, which is currently a 28-question survey, thus impacting the rate of return and potential sample size and scoring of the surveys. Niagara Mohawk also attributed its failures to meet the residential and small commercial and industrial customer satisfaction surveys to customers' dissatisfaction with high bills, billing issues, and outages. NYSEG and RG&E both did not meet their customer satisfaction survey, incurring NRAs of 19 basis points respectively. NYSEG and RG&E failed these metrics in 2023 and 2024 as well, which will trigger the companies' doubling provision for the respective NRAs per the terms of their last joint proposal in cases 22E0317 et al. Therefore, NYSEG's NRA will increase to 38 basis points and approximately $13.3 million, while RG&E's NRA will also increase to 38 basis points or approximately $8.06 million. NYSEG and RG&E have filed a petition with the Commission stating that their failures for the customer satisfaction survey can be attributed to external influences such as economic conditions, storm severity, and post-COVID recovery. The companies have also stated supply costs have led to further customer dissatisfaction and that energy utilities are scored lower in surveys than luxury or discretionary services. Generally, a utility defers the treatment of an NRA until that utility files its next rate case. These NRAs are regulatory liabilities that the Commission can use to offset a portion of the utility's revenue requirement during some future period for the benefit of customers. The customer service performance indicators currently in place at the utilities in New York State establish standards for performance and put significant amounts of shareholder earnings at risk for non-performance. These mechanisms implemented by the Commission, coupled with staff's ongoing investigative efforts, appear to have been effective in encouraging some of the companies to make customer service a priority. However, other utilities experienced significant challenges in 2025. Next slide, please. I will now turn it over to my colleague, Ashley Ike. Thank you.
The call answer rate, customer satisfaction survey, and PSC complaint rate are typically the metrics used to measure performance at most large utilities. The other metrics are utility-specific and were established to address service quality issues. This slide depicts the large utilities' call answer rate targets and their actual performances. As you can see, several of the utilities' performances exceeded their designated targets in calendar year 2025. It is important to note Central Hudson will increase its call center staffing to address customer calls, especially those related to collections, which was a large factor in their performance for 2025. Kedley, and Niagara Mohawk all stated they moved from a third-party vendor to address customer calls, and the vendors were unable to or would not provide complete call center data. Next slide, please. This slide shows the major utilities' customer satisfaction survey targets and their actual performances. Central Hudson, Liberty SLG, Kedney, Niagara Mohawk, NYSEG, and RG&E failed to meet their designated survey targets and incurred NRAs. The remaining companies met their targets for calendar year 2025. The customer satisfaction survey approved by the Commission for Con Edison deviates from the traditional survey that has been approved at other utilities depicted in this chart, as Con Edison's survey is modeled after the Uniform Pilot Statewide Survey from Case 15M0566, which consists of a single question that is emailed to customers following a transaction with the company. Con Edison satisfactorily met its metric performance targets in 2025. In addition to Con Edison, Liberty Water is the second utility in New York to transition to an email-based customer satisfaction survey for its PSC-approved metric. Utilizing this survey methodology corresponded to increased survey participation compared to traditionally sent surveys through physical mail or via telephone. Staff has included a recommendation for all New York utilities to develop proposals which modify their existing surveys to incorporate the statewide pilot survey. Staff envisions these proposals will allow for appropriate benchmarking of both the existing methodologies and the pilot survey sent via email, a thorough review of the utilities' survey response rates, review of the cost to disseminate the surveys, as well as have the various utilities obtain additional email-based customer feedback so as to provide sufficient data for the Commission to consider the adoption of pilot statewide surveys in the future. Niagara Mohawk currently has a 28-question survey metric, which has led to a decrease in customers participating. Central Hudson personnel stated that the survey was translated and sent to Spanish-speaking customers within the service territory in 2025. Liberty SLG admitted customer sentiment regarding high bills and billing issues such as meter readings, billing accuracy, and billing delays as contributing factors for customers' poor survey scores. Next slide, please. This slide depicts the PSC complaint rate targets for both large and small utilities and their actual performances. Complaint rates are calculated based on a company's number of escalated PSC complaints per 100,000 customers. As you can see, Central Hudson failed this metric and incurred NRAs, and the remaining utilities met their targets for calendar year 2025. While Central Hudson failed its PSC complaint rate for another year, it has been improving its performance year over year since the metric reached its poorest score in 2023 of 8.5. Staff is confident the company will continue to strive to improve its performance for calendar year 2026 as well. Next slide, please. Staff continues to focus its efforts on reviewing service quality metrics for the companies that have missed their targets in 2025 to ensure these metrics and incentives will be improved upon in 2026. Through the rate case process, staff will continue to advocate for stronger performance-based rate-making strategies relating to customer service as alternatives to traditional cost of service regulation. Staff will also continue to monitor utility customer service quality to ensure the fair and appropriate treatment of utility customers across the state. Staff identified several areas where the utilities could improve their customer service operations, and the report includes recommendations for improvements to the customer satisfaction surveys, customer call time tracking, improvement to methodologies when calculating metric performances, and ensuring consistent policies with the most recent commission-approved joint proposals. This completes our presentation on the Utility Customer Service Performance Report for calendar year 2025. Staff is now available for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate the level of detail and that went into generating this report and providing the outcome. I have no questions and looking forward to seeing continued improvement and making sure we do what was right by customers based on utility performance. So thank you for your work. Commissioner Releasing.
No questions or comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Valesky.
Well, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Kayla and Ashley and Karen, for your work on this report. As I often say, just because this is an information-only item and not a voting item does not make it any less important, or the information that is presented to us any less important than an order that we would be considering. One question, or a couple questions maybe, but one specifically to this presentation. So the roughly $50 million in negative revenue adjustments this year, how does that compare with recent years? Do either of you have that information?
Yes. So we did look at recent years, and this year was one of the highest years since COVID. Some of the utilities have been improving their performances. Central Hudson and NYS and Argini have less metrics. However, more utilities do have metrics, and most of them are either the call answer rate or the satisfaction survey compared to previous years.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. And hopefully when we're here next year at this time, that number will be significantly lower. I just one comment, if I might, that's not directly related to this report, but I think it's certainly timely, and I wanted to just raise it for consideration going forward. This is a process that has very specific metrics upon which you all, as the department, measure certain criteria, and it's been certainly developed over time, and that's very helpful and very important, I think. I was struck this morning in terms of, and the timing was kind of interesting. We're here talking about utility customer service performances, and I couldn't help but read this morning that once again, the transmission line in the state that is known as the Champlain Hudson Power Express is again down from service for the third or fourth time since it was energized in earlier in the spring, and obviously that does not fall within the context of this report, nor should it. However, I would just indicate and take the opportunity the fact that we are considering performance of utilities. I noted with great interest that the governor said this morning that performance is unacceptable, and I certainly could not agree more with her, and I would imagine this entire commission would agree with that statement. So I don't know, maybe I will phrase it to our general counsel, Mr. Sipos. Again, I understand that this is not specific to the informational item that is in front of us, but does the commission have any role, or can the commission have any role, since we're talking about performance? Is there any role that the commission in the future can play in regard to the performance of that particular project?
So, Commissioner, your question is directed to the Chippy transmission line.
Correct.
The commission had a substantial proceeding over many years regarding its siting.
Right.
I think what we need to do right now is do the necessary fact finding, what has occurred, before we, before I would make a statement here today as to what the next steps might be. I know substantial efforts are being made to examine that and to determine the situation and the steps to remedy it. And I would, just in a larger context, I would say that we, and what I'm about to say is not specific to Chippy, but we do have a robust audit process here at the department, and we also have really expanded the investigations and enforcement component that we have here now. We are very watchful to watch out what is in our regulatory space and to take appropriate action.
I appreciate you sharing that, which was exactly the reason why I wanted to raise it. This is a significant, serious issue, and it is good to be reminded from your perspective of potential tools that may be in the toolbox should they be needed going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Majori?
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation and the report. I wasn't going to ask anything, but as I was sitting here listening to the presentation, it occurs to me that it's so detailed that somebody who's not necessarily familiar with the terms might not have fully understood what this report is. So I want to just ask in the highest level, most basic terms, if utility fails to meet its performance standards, what happens and who pays? And specifically, like I could imagine a term like an NRA or basis points as being confusing to somebody who's not familiar with them. So I'm not asking a complicated question. It's like just the opposite. On the highest level, what happens?
So customers pay bills and they expect they're paying for a certain level of customer service. The standards that are set are based on what the customers are paying. They should have that standard, which is tailored to each utility company. If the utility company does not meet those standards, then a revenue adjustment is passed back or to customers. Eventually, it is added as a negative revenue adjustment on a future rate case proceeding. So it will potentially lessen bill impacts, so lessen bills in the future.
Great, and thank you. And what I was hoping would get across, which I think does, is that the ratepayers are not paying a fine for the performance of the utility. Okay, thank you very much. That's all. And I appreciate the presentation.
And just Commissioner Majority, the term is negative revenue adjustment, and if we take a step back, it's reducing the revenue that the company can earn, and with the benefit flowing to the customer. So to your last question, it is absolutely not the ratepayers paying the penalty, the fine, or the consequence. And in fact, it resides, that consequence resides with the utilities.
Thank you for that clarification.
All right. Thank you. Commissioner Bright?
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Kayla. It's a great presentation, and Ashley as well. I did have one quick question on the recommendations. So I vaguely recall we had recommendations last year. Is that right? Yeah. And just wondering how we sort of keep track of our progress, or really the utilities' progress, in making sure that they're, meeting and doing the things that we're asking them to in the recommendations that we make every year.
So that is part of every annual audit. So for the 2025 audit, we followed up with the 2024 recommendations to make sure that they were either implemented or they were going to be implemented. Some of them were recommendations for upcoming rate cases, which haven't happened yet. But the recommendations from the 2024 report, I believe some were for Liberty Water regarding their survey, which have been implemented. So they have that email-based transaction survey, which has improved their performance. So that we do follow up every year. We follow up on the previous year's recommendations, how we kind of close the loop.
Excellent, great. So no other questions. I mean, I think that these reviews are central to continuous improvement and holding a high bar. So for performance. So thank you very much for all your hard work, and I really appreciate it. No more questions.
Thank you. Commissioner Sheehan.
Thank you, Chair. Kayla, Ashley, great job. Hope to see you again here. So I really do appreciate getting this annual presentation. It's illuminating for us. I know it's a lot of work for the staff, so thank you for that. But it does, the charts that you present are, I think, really illustrate how we're doing or how the utilities are doing. So for me, I'm not happy, obviously, to see our utilities not meeting their performance goals. Commissioner Majori, because I work with all these smart people, asked my question. But because just similarly though, something that you said that I didn't zero in on initially, but now I'm curious because is why are the surveys so different? So Con Ed has a 1-question survey. National Grid has a 28-page or 28, I don't even know, 28 questions, I think you said, survey, which they attribute to why their numbers are low, So I'm just, why the difference between what Con Ed does and what our other utilities do? And, in terms of the survey length and et cetera.
So the surveys and the metrics themselves are established within individual rate case proceedings. So what Con Edison wanted to do within their most recent one, which was approved by the commission in their most recent rate order, was the 1-question email-based transaction survey. The one that National Grid was implemented several years ago, which was the 28-question survey. It is on an individual utility by utility basis, and that's why there are disparities between the survey questions and the difference in lengths.
Okay, so to have it changed, it's in the rate case.
Yes.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thanks. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the hard work. Thanks.
Thank you. And Commissioner Vlobel.
Thank you for the presentation. Thank you for all of your work to gather this data and evaluate it. We can't improve upon things that we don't measure, so I think that is an incredibly important function of the department and the commission. I also really appreciate seeing item 201 and 202 together because I think there's, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a chance that improving upon or reducing the use of estimated billing might improve customer satisfaction, right?
Yes, and some of the utilities have estimated bills metrics, so hopefully those will also be improved upon.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So I appreciate that we have them both in the agenda today as a reminder that there is a more holistic view of how everything fits together, and thank you for the report.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Again, since this item is an information item, it does not require a call for a vote. We'll now move on to today's consent agenda. Thank you, everyone. Do any commissioners wish to comment on or recuse from voting on any items on the consent agenda? I'll begin with Commissioner Alisi.
No, I do not, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Valesky.
No comments or recusals.
Thank you. Commissioner Majori.
No comments or recusals.
Thank you. Commissioner Bright.
I have a quick comment. One just very generally and sort of goes to the work that we just went over. But, the number of items on the agenda was vast this month. And that's truly a team effort from DPS staff that I absolutely appreciate. And it is the dedicated teams on staff that really make our work possible and hold that high bar and standard of excellence. So I really want to just give kudos to staff for all the hard work that you do every day. I'd also comment specifically on item 394, the hydro repowering. So, of course, I want to thank staff for their work on this, but I do think that it will make a meaningful difference And hydro is our biggest contributor for renewable energy in the state. And so it's essential that we maintain the baseline resources, which I think that this order does, and I think it does well. So I commend staff for their excellent work, which I've come to expect, but nonetheless, it is excellent. And I think it really does a fantastic job of really balancing many needs and goals of our state with the public interest. So thanks again.
Thank you. Commissioner Sheehan.
Thank you, Chair. I have no recusals, and I'm going to comment on 394, which is similar to Commissioner Bright. It's the order modifying hydroelectric facility repowering requirements. The order modifies the requirements for hydro facilities to qualify under the Clean Energy Standard Tier 1. I'm supporting this item because it focuses on preserving the existing capacity and extending the useful life of these valuable, clean, firm resources. I do still have a lingering concern about the required 3% increase in energy. However, I believe the order incorporates and addresses stakeholder feedback in a way that clarifies how the 3% is measured and ultimately makes the requirement workable, while also protecting the integrity of the Tier 1 credits. So I really want to thank staff and the stakeholders for their work on this item, and I'm very pleased with the result. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And Commissioner Vlova.
No comments or recusals, except I want to say echo Commissioner Bright and thank staff for all of their work on the consent agenda items. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now conduct a call for vote. My vote is in favor of the recommendations on the consent agenda. Commissioner Alisi, how do you vote?
Yes, on all items.
Thank you. Commissioner Valesky?
Yes, on all items.
Thank you. Commissioner Majori?
Yes on all items.
Thank you. Commissioner Bright?
Yes, on all items.
Thank you. Commissioner Sheehan?
Yes on all items.
Thank you. Commissioner Vlova?
Yes, on all items.
Thank you. The items are approved and the recommendations are adopted. Madam Secretary, is there anything further to come before us today?
There is nothing further today.
Thank you. And with that, I adjourn. Thank you, everyone.
Canadians can't get it together, apparently. Well, it's on the back side, right?
And then somebody questioned me.
Here we have a whole control setup. So they have all the fees like joint stake.
You just mentioned the total load carry capacity.
We do that for a lot of them.
Each area has
specifically require just static. They want this shot and this shot and this shot.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's how they can hear.
Yep.
It's consistent.
Yeah. If it works, I guess. Exactly. Still got
Never knowing how much by how much different that's think these about 5 days. And it's frustrating on the part, which is
So I'm Don with New York State Civic Affairs. That's the end of the meeting here. Relatively short meeting today, extremely short. Less than an hour from 10:30 to 11:10 or so. One of the shortest meetings I have seen with the Public Service Commission, covering, it appears, 2 items. One is concerning service, and the other is the calculated or estimated billing. So it looks like they're going to get ready to close up here. We're ready to go. I received no response on that email that was sent to Ms. Maskey with the public relations folks here in the state regarding the availability of the information as provided to the commission and which was not provided to the public 24 hours in advance of this meeting. So I might stop over and chat with her for a moment on the way out and see if she received my email and see if she has any comments on that. Hey guys. So based on the fact that you're different than the other folks that have been here, I would venture to say there's more than 4 state police assigned to this closet. Yep, well, it's good to meet 2 more of you folks that are here to keep things safe for the people. So, just going to chat with Miss Mashke. Is it Mashke? Yeah, okay.
Well, so like stakeholders in our contract is pretty much it's low to moderate income focused, but yeah, anyone is eligible to do programs or participate in programs, we would call it a stakeholder. So yeah.
You can send it to them. Yeah.
Okay, so it's okay if Andrew Neufeld from NYS just makes a post and we can reshare it?
Sure, or we could do it
Can
first.
they just share the content in advance before they post it, if that's all? That
They
works
could
for them?
probably send us a quick draft, that would be fine, and then over the long term, if we want to do more of this, I know that like Constant Contact has integrations that we can use to kind of like cut out a lot of the housing going. So maybe that's just a next conversation to have, is like how to
Let's pause this conversation for now, and then I'll circle back with you.
Yeah, someone's waiting for me.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Colin.
What's the pronunciation of your name?
Kim Mashke.
Mashke, that's
Yes.
what I thought it was.
You are Don,
Don Peavy,
right?
yeah.
Yes.
Did you get my email this morning? I know I sent it early this morning as I was reviewing this. But I just wanted to get maybe some feedback on, you know, if that information wasn't posted because it's not something that was voted on or whatever.
You sent it through our web questions channel. Yes.
Right.
So we monitor that inbox, but if you have my
I do, your card.
information, if you want, that's the quickest way to reach me.
Yeah. Well, I hate to pressure you, especially during a day when there's a meeting early. And
Help with questions, so.
okay, so if you want, you don't have to answer
Let
that
me take a
now.
look at it,
Yeah, because
and then I have your information, I'll get back to
perfect.
you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate your
Thanks,
time.
Don.
And I barely made it today.
I saw you coming.
Oh my God. Traffic. Thanks.
During the second item, but you got it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hey, how you doing, Donnie?
We're all set, appreciate your help.
Do I just go out and they'll get me in the elevator? Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Okay, thanks so much.
and they'll love that.
Are we good? I don't know why I get my own elevator. Yeah, I don't know why I get my own elevator. Could be because I'm good or because I'm bad. I guess you never know, right?
Yeah. That's the rub.
But I'm so
You never can tell.
So glad I could make it though. That's good. Hey, we're there.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks so much. I did make a little bit of the meeting. Here you go.
Thank you. That was quick.
Yeah, I know. And I needed to get your first name again.
Muhammad.
Muhammad. Thank you, Muhammad.
Yep.
You're good to us every time we come.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that's the meeting today. Very, very short. We're headed down the concourse to, I'm wondering if that goes anywhere. I don't know where this goes, but it just goes to the parking area. Okay. So we're wondering if the length of the meeting today is purposely scheduled to carry several items of short duration. There were a lot of folks there today when we start to review the video of people that, although we've seen many of them before, some we haven't seen, although I've seen photographs about the internet with regards to some of those folks here. And so it's going to be interesting to see who many of those folks were in that meeting and how they interface with the Public Service Commission and whether that interfacing with the commission is direct or as an agency of the commission, if you will, or if that interfacing is via some other political means associated with energy, with the governor's office, or with any other folks out there that may be mobilized to participate at some level with the commission in New York State. So that's the ongoing process that we're kind of following here in order to kind of get a green bead, if you will, on the processes involved with the commission, how deeply they're entailed, I guess, in the political system in New York, and how the mobility of various organizations in New York State may help or hinder causes with respect to the public, not necessarily the political side of the public's needs, but energy, utilities, and other parts that the Public Service Commission is responsible for. So that's some of the stuff that we're trying to ascertain by coming to these meetings and seeing not just the information that is presented, because that information is duplistic. It's presented both by the Public Service Commission on their own website. So folks out there might say, well, geez, Don, why are we spending the time and resources to go to that meeting and actually record what's happening if it's provided for the public by the Public Service Commission? And that was answered for us today by one of the technicians that work for the state. They're actually a contractor that works the audio visual department of the Public Service Commission. And that question that we asked him is, are these cameras able to be moved during the meeting so that we can see the audience as the public? And he said yes. In fact, for many meetings, they do turn the cameras to see the public. But he says the Public Service Commission has always wanted static cameras that do not necessarily show the majority of the public. Now, he didn't state the majority of the public, but he did say that they wanted to maintain static cameras. So the question then that we can ask is why? Is the public not as important in this kind of an environment? The public being anyone that attends this meeting or these meetings, and why would they not want to show the people in the meeting when it is a public meeting? And that is why we provide that information that the state will not provide, because there is some connection, we believe, between the people that come to these meetings all the time, all of those individuals, and what happens in these meetings, or at least how it's communicated to the public. So that's why we bring you these meetings, even though the state does the same. Sorry for that noise. So we are pretty much complete here and in Albany at the Empire Plaza for this meeting of the Public Service Commission. And we're on the way back to our vehicle. This was a crazy, crazy morning with no parking available here on the plaza. We had to park about a quarter of a mile away. For those that haven't seen the plaza before, this is the main entrance. Museum.
Sir, I can you can take me, I can carry that all day.
That's awesome. Hi there. And this would be the back entrance, which is only available to folks that use the offices here at the Empire Plaza. as I found out when I tried to enter there, and they said, well, you got to walk around, so it's quite a distance. But it's a very large plaza, very large concourse, as you just saw walking through there. It's great to see these kinds of streets in Albany next to the plaza with the houses. Very, very nice. Lots of towns in America are exactly like this. I would say anything east of the Mississippi. Anything west of the Mississippi is quite different. In many cases, at least neighborhoods where folks live. But east of the Mississippi, older cities and towns in the United States, excluding the West, are very, very similar to this. It's quite interesting being from the West that you really don't see this unless you're out in this kind of an area. Older cities, older towns in New York State. Sorry about the wind noise there. So I'm Don Peavy. We're at the corner of Dove and Hamilton Streets in Albany, New York, just down from the Empire Plaza. Very quiet neighborhood. We were parked here. We just wanted to say that we think this is a great little area of Albany that looks safe, right next to the Empire Plaza. It's a great area here. Convenient. Tree streets, and it looks great. So thank you so much, folks, for being here with us. civicsny.com or Facebook, NY State Civic Affairs. Thanks for being here with us for this meeting. So we'll get more information on how estimated bills are going to help the public ratepayers in New York State with respect to their energy bills. So thank you so much for joining us today. Don Peavy, civicsny.com.
Brought to you by New York State Civic Affairs, CelebrateAmericaUSA.com, TWCA Productions, and by your community.
It's your community, and it's your future. Drive it.